I know we've talked about these libraries and librarians for weeks now, since this really became a topic that we didn't expect to become a topic here this legislative session. So the official story of the library's allocation bill, as we just heard, can be threaded through the failure of House Bill 666 and the subsequent House Resolution 23. Both legislation sponsored by Representative Guyane DeMordaunt. The former referred to as mischief by Senate Pro Tem Chuck Winder, and it died in Senate committee. That would be House Bill 666. The latter passed the House Friday with a 50-vote advantage. That would be the resolution. Quoting the Idaho Constitution, it did, and its bedrock principle that, quote, the first concern of all good government is the virtue and sobriety of the people, end quote, and how the state constitution directs the Idaho legislature to enact policies that promote temperance and morality. Think about that. It even quotes the U.S. Supreme Court case, the United States versus American Library Association, where it ruled states have a compelling government interest in protecting young library users from material inappropriate for minors, and how parents should reasonably expect their children will not encounter harmful materials while at the library. Well, during the House floor debate over House Bill 666, there was a packet passed around containing examples of, quote, books available to children and youth in school and in public libraries in Idaho which meet the legal definition of being harmful to minors, end quote. The first on this list, a book called Gender Queer, a memoir written in 2019 by Maya Kobabe. So we decided to look into this a bit to see where this book, in which libraries this book might be available to minors, which is why I had the question, I wonder which book Representative Crane was speaking about last Friday that he found in the under 5 section. Don't know. We talked about this before with the Ada Community Library about 3 weeks ago, about this book specifically. We learned then it is one book out of their 200,000 materials in their library, and they've only had it since February 14th of this year. It is categorized, carried, and stacked in the adult graphic novel section, emphasis on adult, so it's not really technically available to children. It has been checked out there 3 times, including currently. How many times has it been requested for reconsideration, meaning someone asked to have it removed? 0. The Boise Public Library has had 3 copies that were added to circulation back in December of last year. They keep it in the adult nonfiction section since it is a memoir. Their copies have been checked out 13 times with 15 people waiting on the hold request list. Could it be because of the attention this book has received over the last few weeks? Maybe. For some perspective, the Boise Public Library checked out nearly 2.5 million physical and digital items in a year's time, from October 2020 to September 2021. Over that same period, they added nearly 45,000 unique physical and digital titles to their collection, a selection made by a committee of 5 librarians. And they have had no requests for reconsideration submitted to the library over that time for any of those books. We did learn Centennial High School in the West Ada School District, they did have a copy of Gender Queer in its library. But after a reconsideration request, it has recently been removed. We did ask the Boise Public Library if during this legislative session, any lawmakers happened to reach out and ask them about their collection and how it is handled. We were told a few Senate and House members did reach out to them to see how their collection development team selects materials for the library and how the process for reconsideration reviews works with the staff, the management, and the Board of Trustees. A few reached out, maybe about as many as there are copies of Gender Queer on the library adult shelves, maybe. By the way, between books and movies, I looked on the website. There are 57 copies of the 50 Shades of Grey franchise available at the Boise Public Library.